Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Happy Saturday. I hope you've all been having a good time this weekend. Hope you're all doing well. We're back here, and Nash immediately the resub. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well, Nash. So if you're not following me on Twitter, you're probably wondering where the hell I've been all week. And so last week, essentially a call for a global strike was put out to try to cease as many activities as possible in order to protest the ongoing genocide in Gaza. I didn't start it right at the time, but that's why I have not scheduled any streams this week except for this one. Um, so we'll be back to raising funds for medical aid for Palestinians, um, because they still desperately need it, and we still have lots of games for to go through. So we'll be going through two today to get me back into the swing of things because I I need time to get back to getting into how many games I was doing per session because oh my god, it feels like it never ends. Anyway, enough about me. So let's go ahead and get ourselves over to the first game, and we will see our contestants as well, whom are also in the stream description, and but I will also shout them out individually as well. Hello, everyone. How are you doing?
Hello.
Do y'all want to introduce yourself?
I am physicist. I am a brain in a jar, and I stream video games somewhat often.
I am Sheppy Sheps, the Explosion VTuber. I am a dual model VTuber, one part android and one part flying robot made out of a toaster. I stream a variety of games, but mostly single player RPGs. Yay!
Sounds good. And what are both of your pronouns, just so everybody knows?
Today
I'm he, him.
I am gender fluid. Right now I'm feeling they them.
Sounds good. Steppy's a little quiet. Hang on, let me adjust.
Oh. Again.
Oh yeah, I I looked over. I looked at the volume slider, and I had turned you down. I think from the last game, because you were really giving it all in that performance, and it was a little loud, I think.
I understand. Do you want me to repeat my introduction?
Yeah, you know what? Go ahead, do that.
Sure, I am Sheppy Sheps, the Explosion VTuber. I'm a dual model streamer. I am part android and part robot. I own a shop where I make robots and construct explosions. I normally I am a variety streamer, but right now I'm really focused on single player RPGs. So nice to meet you.
Sounds good. Nice to meet you again.
Nice to meet you again.
I like that
Uh,
you. I like that you said you construct explosions. It's like yes, I build destruction.
to be
build.
deconstructed, of course.
I mean, you gotta build the bombs.
Yeah.
True.
That's how you construct the explosions. Also, you'll have noticed, Fizz is sporting a lovely Explorer's fedora today.
Oh, nice.
If you like Fizz's, if you like Fizz's thing, you can support him right here and get your very own emote or like little stream asset. So please be sure to give them hit him a donation.
Yeah, they're very good.
Yeah,
Very good at. He's very good at work. What he does.
yeah, I
Also,
appreciate it.
he made where is it? He made this. It's a duck.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
I gotta add mine. I gotta add mine to my stream. It's so good.
But with introductions out of the way, I think it's time that we start talking about what we're doing today.
Okay.
I'm just brooding through my windows to find the right one. All right,
Okay.
so the first game that we're going to be playing today is The Brave Professor. a 2 players, 1 GM RPG by Thomas Jimenez Rioja. The Brave Professor, we will use he, him for simplicity, and the sidekick, we will use she, her for simplicity, come to save the day from the Nazis, who are back again looking to get their hands on a powerful artifact that belongs in a museum.
Those wacky Nazis.
Character creation. Roll on the table below the area, the history. Sorry. Roll on the table below the area, the history's. I feel like I'm. Roll on the area below the history professor's descriptor, as well as the sidekick's job and descriptor. Then the professor assigns a d10 to either his brave or professor stat and a d6 to the other. The higher the die, the better you are at it. Hi, Sync.
Okay.
I'm doing good. I hope you are as well. So, as obvious by the big, nice hat that Fizz is wearing, Fizz will be our professor today, and Sheppy will be our sidekick. So, Fizz, let's go ahead and make your character first.
Okay.
So, roll on the table below the area. That could definitely use a reword.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and roll you a descriptor. You are sassy.
Sassy.
Okay.
Yes.
And then, then we do the sidekick's job and descriptor. So Sheppy, since you're in the session, you feel free to ride them. So we first have a d6 on the job. So you are a poet.
Oh no. Oh no.
And go ahead and roll one more time for a descriptor.
Sure.
I'm already a professor.
6.
An intimidating poet. All right.
You carry a very big quill pen.
Yes. The pen is mightier than the sword, Junior.
So Fizz, you can either assign a d10 to your brave or professor stat. Brave is used for actions in social situations that have to do with bravery. Using a weapon, directly accusing someone, using the whip to swip over an endless pit. And professor is used for social interactions, logical thinking, and history recollection. Convincing someone, deceiving them, solving puzzles, interpreting hieroglyphs. Okay. So you can be better at one of those two areas.
I think I would like to be better at professor.
Okay, so you are a d10 in professor stat, d6 in brave.
Okay.
If you don't mind just like writing that down somewhere, just so
Gotcha.
we're aware.
Okay, got it.
Wonderful. The artifact, The Brave Professor, was created to be played as an episodic TV series, with every 1 or 2 episodes having the Brave Professor and his sidekick locate and get a hold of an artifact before the Nazis, or another organization of your choice. These adventures are called story arcs. Create the artifact by rolling on the table below in order to have a general idea of it. Both players and GM will continue building on the artifact details as the PCs get more rumors along the course of the game. Lastly, set a difficulty for it within 6 to 10. Difficulty explained in rumors section. Okay. So let's go ahead and roll for the descriptor. It is of life.
Of life.
It is a ring.
The ring of life.
Six, from a forgotten civilization. All right. Lastly, set a difficulty for it within 6 to 10. Since this is our first game, I'm just going to go ahead and say difficulty 6.
Great.
The map. The map is your key tool. It displays where your player characters have ventured and provides rumors about the artifact, which may or may not be true secret. To begin, roll 1d10 and 1d6, placing a dot within the node on the map at the intersection of the rolled latitude and longitude. Repeat the process, marking new nodes and connecting with lines. Continue until 2 lines intersect. All right, so this might take a while. Let's grab our dice. Shrink the rulebook down a little bit. I know it's going to be pretty hard to read, but if you want to read it for yourself, you can always purchase a copy of this game on itch.io.
It's actually
Mhm.
free. It's actually free. So
Oh,
that's the
well,
best.
then you
That's
don't
the,
even have to purchase a copy. You can just get
You're right.
a version and read along.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, so here begins our first dot.
Watch it be in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, I cannot wait. So
Atlantis.
1 and 5. So
It's in the middle of the ocean.
Iceland. That's not a color that we want to draw with. Iceland.
Iceland.
Repeat the process, marking new nodes and connecting them with lines. Connect until 2 lines intersect. One, 2. Let's put this one right in. Actually, I can put this on the West Coast. Do that.
So that there's stuff to do.
2, 6. Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to be drawing a line. Yeah. 2, 6. Oh, look at this nice, juicy little
Area.
area. We'll put that right on top
So
of
much
Damascus.
culture.
How about Egypt?
Too bad, I already put it on Damascus.
2 and 4.
Players must keep traveling from one node to the map and another the same, rolling for an encounter. Continue until 2 lines intersect. So, like, they cross over?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. 2, 4. Well, there's not an awful lot of stuff in there. Oh, that looks like a tiny little island that I can... Putting the string in a conspiracy board. That's exactly what I'm doing. Hopefully this next one will let us intersect.
So we're triangulating the
1,
position.
10. Well, I was gonna say 1, 0.
Oh, I think one.
Yeah, I think we're getting something.
Alaska.
Is that? I guess there's a tiny bit of Alaska, but we'll put this in, like the eastern coast of Russia, I guess. Oh, right there.
And that would be an intersecting line.
Yep, we have an intersecting line, everybody. What does that mean for us? Once this has been done, you're ready to start the game. Select where your PCs will start the adventure from. This is your first node. The GM and the players can decide how the PCs get to know the artifact, or you can use the rumors table to determine. Roll for latitude and longitude and determine what the characters learn, what to need / want to travel there. Okay, where do you want to start from?
I was thinking we could all be like, me and the professor could be like Canadians. We could start in like Western Canada.
Oh, that's a terrifying answer. All right.
What do you think, Fizzy?
Do not quiz me on anything Canadian. I will be wrong.
I would not know if it was or not. Okay, so the GM and players can decide how the PCs get to know the artifact, or you can use the rumors table to determine it. Let's use the rumors table. Rumors. rumors or any type of information or detail about the artifact or its whereabouts. Players and GM work together to create the most interesting clues for the adventure. Players may uncover the secret by connecting to rumors. Once per episode, players can theorize where the event to finally recover the artifact is going to transpire. This may be where it is hidden, where the artifact can be activated, or where you may steal it from the Nazis. Count the number of rumors you are using for this theory and roll a die with equal or fewer sides 4, d6, d8, d10. Need to roll the die until you get a 1 on it, summoning up the results. Outnumbering the artifact difficulty means the theory is correct, and you get to head to that final location for the final event to transpire. At least one of the rumors is false, and it leads you to a trap or location for encounter. Okay. So let's roll on the d6 to see what your first rumor is. It is a 6. A reason why the artifact is so valuable. Do you have any thoughts on why a ring of life would be valuable?
There, there is a family that has passed down a rumor about it for generations, ranting and raving about the supposed prosperity of their ancestors because of this ring. And they've finally got some people to listen to them about it because they think it's worth a lot of money.
Not only that, but I've heard that the life gives a person a naturally long lifespan. So, in the right hands, that could be very, very valuable.
Okay. So, players in effect get another fact. Roll for latitude and longitude to determine what the characters learn / want to travel there. What? I'm not gonna lie, I didn't read this very strongly, but I'm getting a little bit confused as to what this next step is.
You're good. No problem.
Roll for latitude and longitude to determine what the characters learn need / want to travel there. Am I supposed to? Were we supposed to just pick not a node at random, but just literally anywhere on the map?
To start from, I was
Yeah.
thinking the one that was in the Western Canada. That's what I was thinking. And then we go to another node, which I think is Damascus, or in the middle of Iceland, the Icelandic Sea.
So those lines aren't necessarily travel lines. Those are just like points of interest that led us to this information, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it may not matter where we start, except in regards of how we are going to travel to the first location
Yeah.
we pick after that.
Yeah, I
Oh.
think you're right.
Where does
I
the
don't fully
professor?
grasp this yet, but that seems like how it's supposed to go.
Do you probably have no node to the map, another in the same way, rolling for an encounter each of them unless another event was set. Two lines intersect. Okay. Probably would have been a good idea to watch that thing of play. Example of play. So I'm gonna say that roll for latitude and longitude.
I guess we can choose where we start. It doesn't have to be one of those nodes.
I think where we start is like a free space for
Yeah. Okay.
making a
I'm
node.
gonna say yeah. Choose on this map where you want to begin. I think the idea is that you start the map where you want to, and then you travel somewhere, and then once you start to intersect with the nodes that we've made, then you can start deciding you can start getting clues and stuff. Basically, I'm gonna say that that's what's up. So where do you want to start?
Yeah, you're the professor, so I think you should choose.
Um, okay. Let's say that we were at a history conference in Massachusetts where we both overheard like an inkling of an idea about this thing from a conversation we weren't supposed to hear.
Oh, I was very intimidating, so I got the information by underhanded means.
Detroit's in Massachusetts, right? Yeah. All right. So you've overheard something. Let's see where you heard where to go. 1, 2. Well, congratulations. So I'm gonna go ahead and place one. You can go up to White Horse. Why not? So your line intersects.
Oh, never mind.
Whenever two lines intersect, players determine if they want the node to be in the intersection point or the rolled location. Roll for the encounter the PCs might face there. Use next table and result in the table if needed. If there was a line intersection, PC get a rumor from the encounter. Okay. So, you can decide whether you want to go all the way to White Horse, or you can, like, either of where these two places intersect, you can use as a you can stop there. There's not an awful lot there's not an awful lot of things in Western Canada.
Right.
But I mean, if you want to be there, you can.
Let's go where they intersect.
Okay. The top one or the bottom one?
Bottom one.
Bottom one. All right. That is Edmonton. Dear God. All right. You are in Edmonton. Roll for the encounter. The PCs might face there. So encounter. All right. What's your encounter? 3. Meeting with someone from your past.
Oh.
I think technically this is supposed to be the professor's past, but it doesn't specify. But Fizz, if you've got anyone from your past that you'd anyone from the professor's past that you want to encounter, let me know. Otherwise, I can make up something.
Can I make up somebody from Sheppy's past?
Sure.
Um, let's say Sheppy is an intimidating poet. Let's say that they are being hounded by their literature professor,
My God.
who is jealous of their success. Their work overshadowed the professors while they were still in class,
Sure.
and that's why you're intimidating to that person.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
So, while in Edmonton, Sheppy encounters their old literature professor, who basically accosts them and says, like, I cannot believe the success that you're seeing now. Like, you must have like bribed the publishers to give your poetry better deals,
You
better
know what?
publication.
Absolute nonsense, tomfoolery, libelous, slanderous. I have you know I'm traveling the world right now on a secret mission to save the world from the damned. I don't even want to say it. You're not even privy to this information. Andy, do you unless you know anything about this here ring of life, I don't want to have anything to do with you right now. You gave me bad grades just to spite me.
Okay.
Wait. Do we know like Nazis are involved yet?
That's
Uh,
why I didn't say. That's why I didn't say Nazis. I didn't say it.
Hmm. So we know we have competition just because we overheard the conversation at the
Right.
conference. That's why we're okay. We're trying to get that first.
Unless you know, Professor, if you there's anything about this ring of life, then when our conversation's done.
Well, I might have gotten a book on a book on mysterious artifacts by mistake instead of the poetry collection that I sent away for. But I don't know why I would give it to you.
I crack my knuckles. I'm like, you ever read Edgar Allan Poe about quoting the Raven, motherfucker? I'll make you see the shadows soon, friend, if you don't hand over that book. I pull
Okay.
out my giant ass quill. It's like I sharpen it every day.
You made it real.
Okay. So you're aiding the professor, but it's up to the professor to determine how he wants to handle the situation.
Um,
How do you want to get this book?
in
Oh, by the way,
I
am I allowed to curse in your stream?
Yeah, you are. Go for it.
Okay.
I think Sheppy's on the right track. I want to see where this goes. I see this as a viable path for us to have the book and get somebody off her back at the same time.
Okay, but you have to do an action of some sort. The
Okay.
professor is supposed to be the person doing like most of the work.
Oh, okay.
I think, because the sidekick did not choose. Yeah, the sidekick does not have brave or professor.
Gotcha. Let's say we took a train to get here and we're being approached on the train. They're trying to tail us as we're all getting off the train, right?
Sure. Okay.
Let's actually not leave the train and kind of corner ourselves together in an empty boxcar now that everybody else has gotten off. So we're like physically blocking the exit and keeping them in here.
Okay.
My giant sharpened quill. Has a
Okay.
knife.
So you're
knife
trying to intimidate them.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So, skill challenges. The Brave Professor is a game in which the characters often face cinematic chases, gunfights, disguise infiltrations, and socio-political dilemmas amongst others. These scenes that involve several consecutive challenges are called skill challenges. For every action during it, determine if you are using Brave or Professor at the appropriate die pool. You can keep doing consecutive actions in the same way, adding more dice until a die pool rolled 1. This is considered a bot. The GM affects how the speed affects these, often resulting in a condition. Players can reset the dice pool at any time in exchange for a complication of the narrative or a minor condition. Once per dice pool, the sidekick can describe how they apply their job to succeed on the actions at 1d10. Okay. Let's see if I. So you are first of all blocking the exit to prevent this person from leaving. So you are, like either using your might or your,
Yeah, I would be using my brave in this situation
yeah.
because it'd be physical.
All right, let's see how this goes.
Brave is my minor stat, by the way, folks.
Yep, that's a 2. You can keep adding consecutive actions in the same way, adding more dice. Nice. I don't know why you would keep adding dice. Skill checks. Oh, well done. The dungeoneering or investigating site, these usually have more time to take their action. Skill challenge. Skill checks. Once per skill check, they 6. Okay. So that was a really brief skill challenge, but it looks like you didn't roll a 1, so you do succeed.
Yay!
I feel like I have read these rules a little bit better, but not sure what the reason. Sorry. Okay, sounds like you got it though. So you got the intersection, completed the skill check. That means you get a rumor.
A shame I didn't. I was wanting to use your blood as ink for a new poem I was going to write about a shitty professor that gave me an F for a brilliant masterpiece.
Info on a location/item linked to the artifact. Okay. So you manage to the guy goes like, "Oh my god, I'm so scared. Please take this book and leave me alone." And gives you the book that has info on a location about this ring of life that you're looking for.
Good.
What did this do? I guess the rumor pool is. Okay, count the number of rumors you're using for this theory and we'll die with you. Okay. So you've just got 2 rumors right now.
Okay.
One sec. I'm reading over the skill check section.
Mm-hmm.
It says they have two dice pools when doing skill checks, one for the brave and one for the professor.
No.
And it says
Skill checks. Skill checks is when dungeoneering or investigating a site, PCs usually have more time to take their actions, meaning they don't make skill challenges, but skill checks. This was not dungeoneering or investigating a site, so it doesn't apply.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Never mind. I misunderstood.
Okay. So you got a rumor. You found out a possible location where the ring can be found. Players must keep traveling from one node to the map to another, rolling from each of them unless an event. Players turn if they want the node. Okay, so let's see. So you managed to. I can't draw a line. Just make it whatever, good enough. So now you're on the right path. So now you can, I think at this point, you can travel along the lines to go to a different node. And you also have the option of where 2 lines intersect, you can also treat that as a node itself.
Oh, okay.
So wherever that is,
which
that's Spain. Basically the coast of Spain.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So I don't think there's any way, one way or the other, to which way to go. So pick a direction and start going.
Do you want to pick this time, Chappie?
Yeah, let's head to Syria. I heard they have great steel over there, the Damascus steel over there.
All right, so you're going to Syria to see Damascus to see if that was used in the construction of the ring. So roll for the encounter that you might face there. Might be during travel. See what you're facing now. A group of Nazis raiding a location.
Oh God!
All right.
Oh
Jeez.
God!
So you get to Syria, and you hear you go to the site that the book mentioned, and you notice that there are some Nazi soldiers in the process of ransacking that thing, looking for this ring of life. So, how would you like to deal with these Nazis?
So many options.
There are
Sorry.
so many options.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Time to pull out the war for North Africa. Yeah. Win the war by yourself. Yeah, so basically what you want to do is get access to the site, to to investigate the site further. So you can decide whether to like start blasting. You can decide to like infiltrate the site somehow.
Mhm.
Like the options, the ball is in your court as far as like how you want to deal with this, because of course, and I know that you have a D10 in professing, so maybe using some sort of um smart social interactions, logical thinking, and history recollection, convincing someone, deceiving them, solving puzzles, interpreting hieroglyphs might be a better choice than blasting, but
Yeah,
it's
Gotcha.
your call.
use your
Hey,
guile, your sly, your cunning, sassiness.
I've got uh, a cross between cunning and blasting in mind. So
Okay.
let's say we're aware of conflicts in the area. Let's say somewhere not that close to where the Nazis are at, but definitely within earshot. We set up a speaker that's meant to make it sound like there's fighting in the distance and it's getting closer, and we
Okay.
can we can remotely trigger those sounds.
Okay, so you're setting this up on like a phonograph or something,
Yeah.
because this is the 1930s.
1930s, right?
Oh, it's in the 1930s.
This is the 1930s. I don't know,
Okay,
unless you're fighting neo Nazis.
let's say we've just got it on a timer then instead of remotely activated.
Sure. Okay. Uh, so let's see if you can. So I don't know. You pull it from some old like World War I footage or something.
Ooh, let's say uh we've managed to get our hands on some like beater cars and we've managed to make them misfire reliably.
Okay.
Do you want? Do you want? Do you want me to roll for it, Fizzy, or are you gonna roll?
We're rolling
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
professor right now.
Sheppy can roll. Yep. But so go
Yeah, go
for it.
ahead, Shippy.
Ah, that wasn't a roll. Uh, 7. Oh wait, 1.
Yeah. Oh, that is a 1. All right. You fucked up.
Oh no.
You fucked up.
Sorry, Fizzy.
You can keep
Oh,
adding consecutive in the same way, adding more dice to the die. The dice pool rolls a 1. This is considered a botch. The GM determines how this affects the PCs,
Oh,
often
no.
resulting in a condition. While adventuring, the professor and sidekick may suffer from negative conditions. When they fail a skill challenge or check, or the dice pool is reset, PCs get a condition. The condition is assigned a name and determined if it is a minor 1d8 or a major 1d4 1. For all the dice pool rolls, add the condition die for each condition the PCs have to it. You can remove 1d6 minor conditions per travel to another node, and 1d4 minus 1 major condition story arc. For each 3 lesser conditions the PCs get, they get a major condition. If the PCs fail a skill check or skill challenge or skill check while both having 3 major conditions, one or both of the characters meets their doom.
Oh God.
So, no pressure. Um, so you have fucked up. How did you fuck up? That's the question. Uh,
Hmm.
Once per dice pool, the sidekick can. Okay, no. So you do get a botch. So it's not the sidekick thing. Isn't a Okay, so the sidekick, every skill challenge, the sidekick can add 1d10 to the roll. Now I'm understanding this. Every skill challenge, the sidekick can help add a 1d10. Describe how you're helping. But that does not. It's not a re-roll. So like if you roll it a 1, it still counts as a botch.
okay.
Uh-oh.
So um, it is minor or a major. Let's see. Oh, what's a good way? You botched it. You while trying to set up these cars for backfiring, you accidentally uh, burn your hand a little bit trying to get the exhaust to work properly, or you burn your hand on the engine or something.
Yeah.
So that's just a minor condition.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Do we do? Did we still end up rigging the cars like we wanted, or does it stop there because I botched it?
Um, several consecutive challenges of kill skill challenge. So no, you keep going
Okay.
until we narratively finish this encounter.
So do you want me to roll again?
So yeah, you can roll again. Sheppy can also decide to add a dice pool, or you can wait, because there might be further challenges later on.
Okay, you're gonna have
Okay.
to explain the dice pool thing again.
So
when the time
I think
comes.
the dice. So the way the dice pool works is that you just keep rolling, um, to progress the narrative essentially. Like you're doing skill checks to progress the narrative, and then
Okay.
do you keep rolling the dice? You must have to. You can just set the dice pool at any time in exchange for a complication narrative or a minor. But do you until a die? You can keep adding consecutive actions the same way, adding more dice. So the way the dice pool works is like you would add this dice. Oh,
Oh,
I need that
sorry.
back. So like you would start a skill check, and then the next skill check that you would do, say it was like, um, then you start blasting or whatever. Then you would add a brave, and then so to complete that skill check, you would have to roll both dice in the dice pool. And
Okay.
if either of them rolls a 1, then it's a botch, and then you reset the dice pool. So basically,
Okay.
like the stakes just keep getting higher and higher as you keep going until you inevitably fuck up, or you
Okay.
complete the narrative.
Okay.
That's my understanding of it. So, let's see. So
So our
you've messed up. So what would you
mhm.
like to try and do now?
As long as the plan is still in motion, all that happens is I've injured my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we've got the cars set up and they're the timers in place, I'd like
Uh,
to.
considered a botch. So, I think if you want to do the cars, you'd still have to roll for them.
I'd have to roll
Or
again.
yeah, you would have to roll for the cars again because you didn't. I think a 1 is considered a failure.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Um, it's still not best plan. I'd still like to do that.
okay,
Okay. I am going to flick.
all right,
8.
roll an 8. So, after a minor mishap, you burned your hand, but you focused up and you got that running. You set up the cars to backfire. So now all the Nazis are like, "Mein Gott, we are under attack!"
Mein Leben.
Um, and some of them are rushing out, but there's still a couple guards posted at the site. So do you add a D8 to the roll for the condition? More chances of a 1? That's exactly what you do. And that's why resetting the dice can be useful, so you don't want to get a lot of 1s. Yeah, so you don't get a major condition, I think, is essentially the point.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Um,
so there's still a couple of guards posted there, but like most of them are gone. So now your chances of infiltration are much higher. What would you like to do to try and deal with these last guys?
Is it okay? My question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to notice if there's any change of the guard. How often do they actually like take a break? Another guard takes this place. Is there like a pattern?
Uh, with the like all the guards having like most of the guards having like gone to investigate, nobody's switching things right now. And
Okay.
if you waited for the guard switching, chances are they would like the rest of the guards come back after investigating the distraction you've set up. So yeah, like they've left a skeleton crew of guards to guard the site, but like they're not going to be swapping out before the other guys come back.
Well, Junior, we have 2 rows diversion of wood, and I am going to take the one less traveled by and snap some necks. Are you
All
coming
right.
with me?
I think I would like to use my professor stat to provide a somewhat convincing impression of a superior officer
Oh,
around the corner. Being a professor, I should suppose I know
Okay.
multiple languages.
All
So
right.
I'm going to speak German and distract them from around the corner so that they are looking that way while my sidekick approaches.
and snaps their necks.
Okay. So, first of all, um, Fizz is going to roll a. Where's my D8? So, first of all, Sheppy, if you want to roll for. Since we are beginning the dice pool, you have to roll. Because Fizz is using Professor Stat, that's a D10, plus the additional dice in the dice pool, plus the condition.
Okay. So I'm rolling all three of these.
Yes.
Okay. Can I flick all three?
I don't know.
Let's find out. Yes, we can.
Looks like it. That's a 2 on the D8, 8,
8
and
and a
10.
10.
Wonderful. You managed to sound convincing enough that the guards go like running off to go investigate this. Like, oh no, it was a surprise attack. Go check over this side. So you've managed to lure away basically everyone except like one lone guy who was told to stick around at the back.
I
So
hope my sassy nature helped lend credence to the pissy officer impression.
Wer ein anderer Pferd, Dummkopf! Get your ass out there!
press R a bunch. Yeah, Sheppy, if you'd like, you can also drag a box over them and hit R to roll. But
Okay.
it doesn't really matter. Roll them however you like. Okay, so now, Sheppy, you'll be using your sidekick. Your applies her job to succeed at one of the actions, adding 1d10 to the pool. So you'll be using your intimidating nature to snap some necks as a poet. The
right.
muscles that you've developed during your time as a poet.
I've written so many poems. It's just my writing arm is just humongous.
All right.
So much strong literature.
So
I'm
go
just
ahead.
I'm gonna snap some necks with just my one arm.
Sure thing.
Okay.
R or just that doesn't matter. Go ahead and roll.
Well, let me try R. Let me try R.
Sure. So drag a box over them, just like them all, and then just mash R a bunch of times.
Ooh, like that. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
4, 8, 3, and 8. So you managed to successfully grab the last guy and twist his neck with your giant, oversized poet arm. Never heard of a warrior poet? Oh, you're so true, Kat. So right. So you managed to do that, and now you have some time to investigate the site while everybody else is distracted. So, time for a skill check. When dungeoneering or investigating a site, PCs usually have more time to take their actions, meaning they don't make skill challenges, but skill checks to overcome challenges. However, fatigue and mental tiredness can affect their actions. PCs have 2 dice pools while doing this, one for Brave and one for Professor. They start with no dice in each and keep adding 1 die per skill check, adding to the appropriate dice pool. For each 6 in a dice pool, you remove 1 die from the other. If a die from the dice pool rolls a 1, the skill check is failed and the PC get a condition. Lastly, the sidekick can aid her professor in skill check. Whenever he fails a skill check, if the sidekick can come up with a way to apply their job knowledge to it, the professor may re-roll the dice pool. So instead of having 1 combined dice pool for like all of your actions, now it's split up into 2. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So you've got a site. The Nazis have begun to excavate it, but it looks like they haven't gotten super far. What would you like to do to like poke around the site and try to uncover the clues that will lead you further to the artifact?
Hmm.
I'm thinking.
Wait. So let me. So the guy that I snapped their neck, snapped the neck. Does it look like their does it look like their uniform could fit one of us?
Close enough that it could fit probably Fizz. I don't know. Sheppy, your bulking muscles might be too visible underneath the uniform, but I'm sure that either of you could probably get into it well enough.
Junior, get in this uniform. Treat me as your prisoner. Ask questions.
Ask questions. Do you think there's still people in there?
If there is, if they don't answer our questions, you know what will happen to them.
Let's say as a precaution, I'll put on the uniform just in case. Like we're down here in the dark. I think it'll last long enough for a little bit of subterfuge until they get a close look at me and don't recognize me.
Okay. So, you've got that on. I don't think that's gonna really require much of a skill check. So there's a couple places that I would recommend that you could check conceivably. You could see what the Nazis have already found. Like they probably have some sort of area that they've been like, maybe like a big table where they've like scouted a bunch of stuff, like slates and artifacts and stuff, written out on it. There might be some notes in like a professor's office, like a tent that you can scrounge around in. Um, you could try looking at the site directly to see if there's like anything that they overlooked. Uh, you could try to talk to or interrogate some of the conscripted workers that were like probably the ones actually doing the excavation of the site. Many options for you. I don't know which one of those sounds most appealing to you.
Let's say first with a little bit of foresight for what may end up being our getaway plan.
Okay.
We may want to feign that there's been a cave-in when we're escaping, so that we don't get interrogated on the way out. Um, I want Sheppy to rip the sleeve off of my uniform on the same side as my like recently burned hand, so it looks like a fresh injury as well.
I take
Just to
my
just
I take my
yeah.
knife quill and like just cut it open.
Okay.
All right, I look a little more beat up just in case. Also, I just didn't want those insignias on me.
Fair enough.
Fair, fair enough. Very, very fair enough.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that making it look convincing is going to require some skill checkery.
Okay.
And that sounds specifically more like a professor thing than a brave thing to me. So go ahead and roll both a d10 and a d8.
Okay.
All right. And then.
Ooh, close.
Ooh.
All right. So you've successfully made it look convincing enough that like if someone goes like, "Where the hell have you been?" or something, they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, okay. You've had an accident, understandable." All right.
Yeah.
So now what?
Um, let's check the researchers' tent to see if they've uncovered anything we don't yet know about.
Okay. Again, that's gonna sound like a professor check to me.
Mhm.
So go ahead and roll the professor die pool.
Oh, do you want? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking up poems to sound cool. So
You
all
roll,
three.
yeah, you roll 3 of them.
Okay. I apologize.
That's okay. I need to. Okay, 9, 5, 2. You successfully managed to root around, and you see what they've already found. The notes. So you think, like they talk about an underground structure that they haven't been managed to locate yet, but they're fairly certain it's in a particular area of the site. So could go look there if you want, or you can keep rooting around other places to gather more information.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Hmm.
She's probably not here, Junior.
Oh, you don't think it'd be here?
If the Nazis, I mean, don't hurt me anymore, Nazi man.
What's going on?
there's a Nazi in front of us. I gotta play the part. Is there like a research man in front of us? I can't be like acting like I'm your assistant.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
You can play the role of like one of the conscripted workers,
Okay.
and
Uh, I don't think it would be here, but we should just cover every inch of this building just to make sure.
okay.
um, I
So just start lifting boxes, opening crates, just everything.
I had an idea that we were in like an underground dig site,
Oh,
No,
underground digs.
no, this is still above ground.
still above ground. Okay, never
They
mind.
haven't been able to find anything underground, but they have a fairly good idea. They seem fairly confident that that it's in this particular area of the site.
Hmm.
Gotcha.
So you could try and find it yourself, or you could keep looking around any of the other options listed, or anything else that you can think of.
I'd like to um, get me and the professor armed with some, whatever weapons that they use, and just start like breaking open boxes and just tearing this place apart, looking for this ring.
Oh, that sounds super loud. Are you sure?
As is the Pope Catholic?
I I will say, like completely tearing a place apart will take some time, and you're not exactly sure how long that distraction will last you.
Right.
Hmm.
Like
It's
they're
up.
coming back at some point.
It's up to you, Indy. I mean, whoever you are. What's your name, Sean?
Let's just go with Indy.
Indy Junior. It's up to you, Junior.
um, let's see. I let's say that I've found some juicy information that gives me a real good idea of where we should be looking for this ring.
Okay.
So let's say that the information states that this ring was once used as a wedding ring between ancient royalty,
Okay.
and that this ring was given to the queen, who is uh, of higher stature in her homeland. So the husband became her king consort over in
Oh.
her land. So I think that they would be buried elsewhere if they still have the rings.
Mm.
Okay.
Um, I want, hmm, I want to devise a way to get out. I'm sorry if this is a little bit of a burden to like think of how we're going to get to the next place, but I guess that's up to the dice rolls anyhow. Um, I think now that we've got the information and we know that time is not necessarily on our side, um, we should find a way to get out without attracting too much attention. Just
Okay.
just for our own safety, but also so we get a little bit of headway
Okay.
towards towards the next destination once they see that their information has been taken.
I'm gonna say that, like, yeah, you know that they were buried somewhere else, but I think to be absolutely certain of where you think that they would be, you're going to need to do one more investigation of the site. Maybe like find something that they overlooked,
Okay.
because they're not 100% sure yet.
All
So,
right. Roll.
well, what do you want to do?
Hmm.
You're not certain where it is, but like there's multiple options of how you could check this site over to see if there's any other clues that would lead you to your next location.
All
Because
right.
you know that now, you know now that like there's a king and a queen that had this ring once, as a wedding ring, and that they were buried somewhere else, but you're not sure where they were buried.
Mhm.
So you gotta figure out one more clue to get there. Maybe there's something in the site. There are some, there are some inscriptions that they said they haven't been able to decipher yet. Um, or maybe there is some sort of physical object that would be a clue to where they could be next.
I want to see if there's any like registries of like kings and queens or like any I'm trying to think. This is hard.
Hmm.
Uh, like
Maybe there
any
could be more
like
for us to investigate, but maybe that would take a bit of time. I think maybe we should talk to the conscripted workers, see if maybe they've pocketed anything that seemed to be of high value. Because if there was anything of high value in this area related to those ancient kingdoms, they would
I,
have been the first to see it.
I would also can I take a separate action?
Um, it
Is
doesn't
that
look
possible?
like you take any actions. You can just re-roll a skill check in
Because
for.
I would like to check like paintings, like if there's any like paintings depicting the king and the queen, and any one of them
Um,
wearing a ring.
I think you can tell the professor to check that because unfortunately it seems like the sidekick doesn't have like a ton of autonomy as far as
Okay.
what they are. But you could be like, "Hey, Indy, let's go see if we can find any murals or anything."
Junior, let's go find some murals or poems. I see if there's any I don't recognize. Maybe there's one about a king and queen.
Right. I think in this case, I was worried about how much time it would take to like do our own digging, right? Digging has already been done here to a certain
Yeah.
extent. And I think the workers would have a better idea of where any of that stuff would be. And let's see if they found
Okay.
any like sort of like expensive accessories or anything that they
Okay.
Okay.
might they might
Sure.
have pocketed them. So I want to go to the workers and see if they can help us with locating any of this in exchange for helping them break out unseen.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, you're gonna have to try and convince them that A, you're not actually a Nazi, because you are still wearing that uniform,
Mhm.
and that they can trust you. So that sounds to me like a professor action again. So go ahead and roll your rapidly expanding dice pool.
Okay.
Ooh,
No.
that's a
No.
one. So,
Oof.
um, now it's time for the like. Now you can uh so the sidekick can aid the professor in skill checks. Whenever he fails a skill check, if the sidekick can come up with a way to apply their job knowledge to it, the professor may reroll the dice pool. So if you can think of a way to have to allow your poetry or your poet profession to help you convince these people to to work with you, then you can reroll it. Otherwise, you got to get a condition.
It has to be about my profession.
It has to be about your profession.
Oh my goodness.
To apply her job knowledge, to apply your job knowledge to it. So anything that you could conceivably you like have as a poet,
Okay.
any knowledge that
Uh,
you consider you can have as a poet.
um. 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 I kind of want to like. I don't. I'm trying to think of like a poem that I could.
Like a local poem or something,
Like
convince them that.
yeah, like something to convince them of like the the bonds or the chains that they wear can be broken. That they should not be indentured to these monstrous fascists that are trying to destroy the world.
Okay,
Try to like give them hope
okay,
with a poem.
with a poem. Okay, um, like something local from the area, basically something that they would recognize.
Yes,
All right,
with my knowledge. Yes,
okay, you're gonna try and inspire them.
yes.
So that seems reasonable enough. So the professor can go ahead and re-roll the dice pool.
Okay.
Ooh, that was
Uh,
close.
that was
You
Yeah.
good.
successfully do it. So you convince them to hand over anything that they might have seen and like concealed. So one of them speaks up and says like, "Yeah, I found this piece of parchment that seemed important, and I didn't want them to have access to it, so I hid it." And then he hands it over to you, and it tells you um that these kings and queen, the king and queen might be buried in Spain.
Oh, Spanish king,
Mm-hmm.
Spanish queen.
So now you know where to go.
Okay.
So, but now you've promised to like help these people. So,
Mhm.
what are you gonna do to make sure that they all get out?
So,
with everybody else.
so being that we broke in and we know which direction most of them went to go check out our ruse,
Mm-hmm.
we have a good idea of which sides are less which side is less difficult to get in and out of, because that's where we came from.
Okay.
Um, so we take them back the way we came, basically.
All right. And on the way there, you hear a Halta, and like a couple Nazis show up from their investigating, and they're here to stop you.
All right.
I think it's
Let's
enough of a
see.
follow.
What can I do? Let's
I don't know.
say
What can you do?
let's say
Many options ahead of you. You could, so your professor skill roll, your professor dice pool is looking a little meaty. You
mhm.
could try something brave, because you only have one dice to roll. Actually, sorry, two dice to roll, because you'd also have to roll that d8. But otherwise you'd it's one 6 times 8, so a what 48% chance to get a 1. No, because it's 2. Never mind. Anyways, you can either do something brave because you've got a lower dice pool, or you can try doing your luck to get out of this with a professor action.
I have a crazy idea.
All right.
I have a crazy idea, Junior. Um, I I want to pretend that I found the ring of life, and it's going to give me immense, incredible godlike powers. And if they do not stand down, they will see the wrath of God.
I thought it was just that it extends the lifespan.
No, I'm bluffing.
So you want the professor to try and like bluff, like, oh my god, listen to them, they'll kill us all if you don't do what they say.
Wait,
I'm gonna hold my hand in the air. It's just my wedding. It's just a wedding ring I had that for my deceased wife. And it's just like I found a ring of life, and it turned out to be a ring of power. It was the One Ring. So that's my crazy plan.
God, how am I gonna do like a brave thing to go along with that?
You can't really directly accusing like the only real bravery like actions is like directly accusing someone. I think I think to be like, oh god, listen to them and stuff, that's a professor action. So
Right.
it's your call whether or not you want to go with that, or you want to do something that would be brave. You don't have to use, you can keep using your professor dice pool.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, your chances of rolling a 1 are much lower on your brave pool right now.
I think I'm gonna go with Professor again this time. I'm going to go along with the ruse and use my obvious injury. Make sure it's seen while I'm doing this.
Oh, your burnt hand, so it looks like the ring that you're wearing is burning your hand. There you go. That it's so powerful it burns your hand.
like I'm speaking German for their sake. De- dear God, the worker is telling the truth. They found the ring. They've
All right.
we had a fight over it, and I burnt up my arm trying to fend them off, and they were able to wrestle it from me. And it's all I can do to hold them back, and I'm like pretending to like try to grapple you and keep you away from them.
Right,
Um, and
pretending.
and in this spectacle, the workers have time to run off in the direction that we told them to go.
I'm like
Well,
pretending to roll.
Roll to see if it's convincing or not first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we
Don't
go.
get too ahead of
That's
yourself.
the plan. Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan.
1.
No! No!
Oof.
Is there any way you think you can aid the professor in this using your job knowledge?
I'm gonna recite a poem. Give me a second. I had a poem in mind.
Okay.
I had a poem about murder specifically.
Okay.
Maybe you could make it sound like the ring is overtaking you.
Yes.
It's like filling you with like a specter's willpower. I don't know.
And I try to speak in the most German way possible, but I don't know how to speak German, so I'm just going to sound fake German.
Okay.
Then one of the judges of heaven stood forth and said, "Speak to us of crime and punishment." And he answered, saying, "It is when your spirit goes wandering upon the wind that you, alone and unguarded, commit a wrong unto others, and therefore unto yourself. And for that wrong committed must you knock and wait a while unheeded at the gate of the blessed. Like the ocean is your God self, it remains forever undefiled."
Okay.
And you're screaming at the top of your lungs with all of this, and it sounds like super gravelly and unsettling.
All right.
My headphones.
So
Give me 1 second.
you get another chance to re-roll.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
No worries. Go ahead and re-roll it.
Okay.
10.
A 1.
1.
A 1 again. 2 1s.
Oh no.
All right. So I'm guessing you can't re-roll a re-roll. I get the feeling. So another condition.
The power actually consumes me, and I start like actually hurting.
That's your wedding ring.
I'm gonna say one of the guards gets so scared that they shoot Sheppy in the leg.
Oh no! So it was
in your attempt to escape, giving you a major a penalty.
Damn.
Well, now you're really fucked up. What are you gonna do? Because you're still there.
Shit.
How are you gonna get out of this?
So anyway, I started blasting.
I think it might be time to start blasting. I don't know.
Yeah. Jeez.
At least all the indentured servants are like gone, right?
In the confusion, yeah.
Okay, good. So now I don't have to worry about misfiring or.
I can unleash all my power. All right. So what would you like to do now? Now that your ruse didn't work?
I'm still reciting this poem about the god self, and
Okay.
And I'm just gonna pull out my gun, my Colt 1911, and just start blasting.
I would say with all the extra blood on you, you're a little more intimidating than usual.
So what do you want? What do you want to do, though?
Yeah, I'd say.
Does that mean you can do conditions? I don't think so.
Like take cover as much as is reasonable, and
Well,
like
actually,
start blasting while trying
from
to
the
retreat.
dice pool rolls a 1. The skill checks failed, and the PC's get a condition. I'm gonna say no, just because that's gonna be like really brutal. What are you doing? Sorry.
Me or Fizzy?
Well, Fizz has to do the action, yes. So what is Fizz doing?
So, yeah, we're retreating as much as we can, just because it's like it's a crowded military style site, I suppose. So there's like buildings and tents and such, so we can at least find something to run behind to break line of sight. But
okay, so you're bravely running away, darting between cover to get out. So that to me is more of a physical brave action. So go ahead and roll the brave dice pool.
Are you holding me up because I am not walking?
Yeah. I've got you with me. You're kind of lost in the sauce with your poem, but we're like shooting behind us as best we can while we're escaping.
Okay, so Sheppy, roll this dice set over here.
Okay.
See if you escape. 2, 5, 5. You managed to get away, and now you have a fairly good idea of where to go. So you can check the next site to see if it's there, or you can go
Gotcha.
somewhere else. Like since you're not exactly sure where the place is, but would get a rumor if you go to the intersecting line.
Can I ask a question? Did I hit any? Can I roll to see if I hit any Nazis?
Go for it.
Okay.
Just checking the kill count here.
What are you rolling exactly? Oh,
This is a fake roll. I'm just seeing.
Oh,
if okay. Yeah, I killed zombies.
Yeah.
Not Nazis. Sorry.
Nazi zombies.
Nazi zombies.
Dear God.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and start wrapping up pretty soon, but let's go ahead and go to this final area and have ourselves a very quick encounter.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I'm in a wheelchair, and
So let's see. You can remove 1d6 minor conditions per travel to another node, and 1d4 minus 1 major condition per story arc. And this is not a new story arc, so this is unfortunately going to be for you forever. But you can go ahead and take out this d8 for now. So, time to roll another encounter. Actually, let's just say you're going to Spain because we're running out of time.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just go there.
Let's say we're going by boat. My arm's still messed up, but it's wrapped up. Sheppy, how do you feel about like a big, like chunky leg brace?
You must move to another location on vehicle through a dangerous path. You're going through the Mediterranean, I guess. Yeah. And you have to divert because there are pirates.
Nazi pirates.
Nazi pirates. So, your boat, you're on your boat, you look out onto the water and you see, oh my god, the Nazi pirates are approaching us. So what would you like to do to get out of this one?
What kind of boat are we in?
Big passenger liner. Actually, I mean, you can decide. It doesn't specify. I would assume either like a small fishing boat or like a bigger passenger liner.
Let's see. I wonder if they know it's us. Let me think.
They might not, but they might be like checking all traffic in the area to see if you are sufficiently Aryan. Or whatever else Nazis would be doing.
Jesus. Do you have any ideas, Sheppy?
Commandeer the captain's, take control of like the commander, like what's it called, like the captain's room where they have like all
the bridge.
The bridge, that's it. We commandeer the bridge and like divert our course.
Okay, so if you're gonna commandeer it,
we're on
that would be a
official
brave
history
action.
professor business.
Wait, do we have to commandeer it, or just like say, hey, there's Nazis up ahead?
You can do whatever. But like decide how you would like to handle it. So you want the bridge. How would you like to get the bridge? Through violence or like guile?
I don't think we have to actually, like, if we can tell them that they're just Nazis tailing us, I think they would be keen to believe us. Or actually,
in the 1930s, debatable.
Okay.
Well, they would be pirates. we recognize that they're pirates.
I don't. Okay, sure, they're pirates. So what are you going to do? Are you going to tell the captain that you see pirates? Because the captain might not believe you. They might be like, "Oh no, that's just a regular fishing boat. It's just some guys fishing." You Americans always jumping at rumors.
Wait.
Do you have a camera? You would have a camera, right? As a history professor.
Would you also have a dark room to develop film?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
You're thinking a little out of time here.
Yeah.
You can't exactly. Oh, let me just take a picture with my cell phone.
Right. Shit.
let's say this rig's got lifeboats on it. Instead of alerting the captain to anything, let's keep him in the dark, because like we didn't use like any shady means to hitch a ride or anything. We're just on the boat, and they are likely going to pass through like some kind of, like, either they're going to be forcefully boarded or be subjected to some sort of checkpoint bullshit.
Mhm.
Um, let's get in a lifeboat and try to stay on the opposite side of the boat from where the pirates can see, so we can sneak away.
Okay, so you want to hide slash disguise the fact that you're there.
Yeah, let's say we're pretty close to where we wanted to be in the first place, and this is like, oh, of course they show up now. So
Okay.
right when we're so close, so we get on the lifeboat and try to make the rest of our way there.
Okay, so you want to hide and make your way not thinking. I'm gonna say that that's more of a professor thing.
Hmm.
So go ahead and start the dice off with a D4 plus D10.
Okay. Oh, wrong button. There we go.
A 2 and a 3. You successfully hide. Um, but the Nazis stay on the boat, and you've arrived at your destination. But how are you gonna get off the boat?
Port Authority.
Mm, well, I don't think it would be near one of the more civilized spots in Spain, because we're going to where there used to be a seat of power long ago.
Okay.
Um,
I kind of assume that you docked at like some major port Spanish city, and then you're like going out of town to go investigate the site.
Well, this is
mm,
actually Portugal right here. This is
Oh
not
yeah, that is
actually Spain.
Portugal. This game is is it's like
It
the
is
border of Portugal and Spain, so
We could
I'm not
land
going
on
to be too
Lisbon.
mad.
do, do we want to land at a port in Portugal as the Portuguese do? Yeah, let's go to a regular port. They've like
Okay.
we just look like it's a little lifeboat. It's unassuming. It's not exactly painted orange these days as a symbol of dear God, we're in trouble. It just looks like a little like, like casual day on the water with us
Okay,
holding
but
back.
you
So
have
let's
to
let's.
release it from the mooring.
Oh, I thought
That
we were
on
already
on
in the water.
no. I thought you
All
said
right.
like you're just going to hide in a lifeboat on the ship.
Oh no, I meant like we would like take the lifeboat and shove off and get the rest of the way there.
Oh, that'd be quite a distance to go in an unpowered lifeboat.
Well, yeah, I was saying that we're most of the way there already, and like
Probably
right at
would
the
be
end of
happening,
the
Cat.
the Nazis show up.
So you're saying the Nazis showed up like right here?
Yeah, like right when we were like almost there, like a few more minutes, we would have been good.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you evaded the first patrol, but you're wildly off course. You're gonna have to do something to get across, all of Spain
Or go around?
or go around. But in a lifeboat, that's going to take some time. So
Yeah,
what would you
true,
like to
true,
do?
true.
okay, so that's not the situation I thought we were in. For the for the lifeboat situation, like, so I guess we're just hiding in the lifeboat then. Um,
That was my initial assumption, is that you were like hiding in the lifeboat, so like they're on the ship, but they don't check there.
okay.
But I mean, if you
Um,
want to do it a different way, like go ahead. But I did say the Nazis were in the Mediterranean, so that at least means that like if you disengage the lifeboat, you are at the very least like you have an entire like Strait of Gibraltar plus whatever to get to your destination at the overlap.
okay. Yeah, I was thinking we were like very, very like on the cusp of the place, but we're not.
Then
Um,
I would say most lifeboats have a tarp of them, right? You would think.
Mm-hmm.
You
yeah,
just hide under the tarp.
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
I think we're already doing that.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap up pretty soon here, just because we've been at this about an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's why I thought we were like already going to be there. Sorry,
Okay, that was not clear to me.
my bad.
Uh,
I assumed.
okay, but what do you think of this game so far?
I think it's supposed to be like a long form game.
It is.
That
It is supposed to be a long form game, and that is kind of the problem with playing a lot of these games under our time
yeah,
constraints. But what did you think of like the setup and everything else so far?
a lot of
I,
fun.
I think there's a lot of room to tell a really good story. I think we
Yeah,
were just a little bit bamboozled by how the setup is supposed to go, just because it doesn't come across super clearly in the directions.
Yeah, I'm looking at the rule book now, and I'm seeing like there's a bunch of lines drawn in white, and then a bunch of lines drawn in black, and I'm assuming one of those is supposed to be like the professor's journey, and then the other one is kind of like the clue line. I
R-
think that's the big thing that confused me, is there's like a clue line plus a like a professor travel line, and then where they intersect is kind of where you start like picking up the trail of the artifact.
Oh, and is the clue line supposed to be visible to the players? Is that something
Yes.
just the DM is supposed to know about?
No, will it be on the map? Because like the entire point is that you have this map in front of everybody.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Kat says they feel like the sidekick could be able to do more, but it seems good. Yeah, I think a lot of the sidekicks stuff is going to be like Sheppy was doing, like a lot of like role playing and being like, "Hey, Indy, what we could try doing this or whatever." Um, but it seems like mechanically the professor is like the really important one, and then the sidekick only like occasionally chimes in,
so
which
we would have, as the game progresses, we would have drawn a line right here. That's where we were, and then we would be like here, and that's where the encounter happened. And then we try to get
something
through
like
there,
that. Yeah.
and then we find out there's a clue in I don't know Bucharest or something, and then
I
we just
think
keep on
yeah,
going.
I think when I was misreading this, I think the intention is that you keep rolling like latitude longitude, and then where like you place a dot, and then your where your travel line intersects with your clue line um is where you're like supposed to go find some clues.
Yeah,
That's I think that's my assumption, yeah. But
that makes sense with the encounters of like running into the Nazis who are trying to find the same stuff.
yeah.
We would just like happen to cross each other following the same information.
Hmm. But
That makes sense.
yeah, I think it was neat. I definitely think I was really confused by the wording at first, but I do I do like the skill challenges and skill check thing. Honestly, where like, like every little bit keeps adding new conditions. And I'm actually, you know what, Kat, I think you're right when you said that like each one should be a different condition, because otherwise it doesn't really make sense to take a condition purposefully to reset the dice pool.
Yeah,
Right.
But other than that, I think it's neat, and would be a lot of fun to do a full game of it sometime. But
yeah.
um, I think overall, I think it went okay. What does everyone else think?
I
I
think
liked it.
that it was a lot of fun to fail. Like getting like
Hmm.
even if we rolled some ones, it made it more exciting because like
Yeah.
like if you ever seen Indiana Jones, like they botch shit all the time,
Yeah,
and they
like he
get a
gets
lot of
captured
yeah.
and stuff.
So failure is a part of that kind of narrative experience. So
Yeah. It feels cool to like accept that like no plan ever survives its execution, and you just come up with stuff on the spot in order to try to weasel out of it,
yeah,
or like overpower or outthink the situation.
Yeah,
The stacking odds on the dice pools, I think, can make for a really cool situation like that.
I
mhm.
think games that make failure fun are the most successful kind of like tabletop RPG story
Yeah, I
like stories.
agree. I think like keeping the narrative going despite like getting some setbacks, some failures is a fun part of narrative tabletops.
Yeah,
Any last thoughts?
but love to do it again if anyone's ever doing it.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
Once like we said before, this game is free on itch.io. You can absolutely go download it, set up a session with you and two other friends. Um, and we're gonna take a short break, and then we'll be back with our next game of the night.
Yeah.
All right. See y'all soon.
Yeah, see you then. And yeah, I agree. I agree, Kat. The book definitely could use a second pass to make it some of the mechanics a little bit clearer. But for something released for free, definitely can't be too mad about it. But
And the sidekick having more of a active role in the
yeah,
story.
it'd be nice. It'd be nice to have the sidekick have like mechanically a little bit more to do, for
Yeah.
sure.
Hmm.
Um, maybe like their own stats or something, like their own like brave or professor esque stats, like in something just something a little bit more to do other than just being like, hey professor, let's do this.
Right.
Any last thoughts, Fizz?
Yeah, I think making both the players equal would be a cool choice. Not to say that it wouldn't be interesting for one of them to be the sidekick and able to do like offbeat things that the professor wasn't expecting. I think that's interesting already.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for the sake of like keeping everybody engaged and invested, it would be easier if we both had the same power in the situation.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's go ahead and take a break, and then we'll be back with our second game of the night. I'm sorry, did you say Street Magic? So be back in a little bit. See you then.
See ya.
Fix that. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome back.
Hello.
Thank you so much for the
Hello.
raid, Erlia and Luminously. Hope you had a great time playing Lethal Company, and thank you so much for bringing your audiences over to see this. In case you weren't aware, we're looking at all 256 games inside of the Games for Gaza bundle that was available back in October. And we are still going through that and raising money for medical aid for Palestinians. The bundle is... That's not how you spell bundle.
Bundle.
And you can donate to the campaign that we're hosting here. It says it's expired, but I'm fairly certain that you can always just add additional funds to the campaign. If there is any issue with doing that, please let me know, and I can try to fix it.
Yeah.
8 God, what? No! No! Oh no!
8Ks. Oh no.
Now it's real VTubing.
Oh, I've been here almost 2 hours. No. No.
Scuff is endearing. It's part of the strategy.
It's a Sheppy trademark.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's get to the next game. So we're playing. Sorry, did you say Street Magic? A city building story game.
Oh, and the reason I'm wearing the adventure hat is because the last game was Indiana Jones inspired. Sheppy, do you think you or Sparks would like a turn with the hat?
Sure, Junior. I'll take the hat. Give it a nice little shine, because it probably smells like you. Smells like brain juice.
There you go.
It just smells like Windex, that's all.
Don't mind your hair sticking out the back of it. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're playing Sorry, Did You Say Street Magic by Caro Assercion. Let's see. Let's skip past that for now. About this game, I'm Sorry, Did You Say Street Magic is a game about building a city, filling it with life and vivid detail, exploring its hidden corners, and meeting its strange and wondrous inhabitants. It was designed to be played as a single-session game, but can also support multiple sessions of ongoing continuous play. I'm Sorry, Did You Say Street Magic is played without a game master or facilitator and can comfortably accommodate 2 to 6 players, although it works best with 4 or 5. Setup and preparation. Need stack of index cards, flashcards, some pens, pencils, and writing tools, a large flat playing area like a you can play in your online tabletop engine of choice, which we're doing, and we'll just go ahead and put the index cards physically out on like. Single session of Street Magic consists of multiple rounds of play and might run anywhere from 3 to 5 hours depending on your group size and playing style. Check in as a group before you start to set expectations for how long a game you intend to play. We're going to be playing for no more than an hour.
Right.
Introducing the game. If anyone at the table is playing this game for the first time, you should explain the overall idea of the game together so you all know what you're getting into. Consider reading the following out loud. I'm Sorry, Did You Say Street Magic is a city building story game. We take turns exploring our city. By the end of the game, we will have created a place that none of us could have imagined alone. Our agenda as players is to create a vibrant and multifaceted city, fill that city with life and personality, and to expand on each other's ideas together. Unlike many tabletop games, I'm Sorry, Did You Say Street Magic is played without a game master or facilitator. The game goes back and forth between phases of independent and collaborative creation. At times, we will decide on certain aspects of the city as a group, but on your turn, each of us has complete control over what we add to the city. Player safety and support. Take turns reading the following section as a table. I'm Sorry, Did You Say Street Magic is designed for light, breezy gameplay. However, much like exploring a city in real life, a game of Street Magic might lead us down strange paths or in unexpected directions. Here are a few different safety tools we can use during game to look out for each other. Any of us can use these tools at any time to play. Rest stops. To take a rest stop, everyone playing steps away from the table for a few minutes. We use this break to stretch, catch our breath, and get some water or a snack if we need it. We can also use this as a chance to talk about the game so far and the direction it's heading. Check in about taking a rest stop frequently, but at least once after each full round of play ends, but before the next begins. Holds. Rest stops are a great way to check in with your fellow players, but they can't always resolve issues that come up in the moment. Holds are a tool that might work for addresses that concern, or might work to address that concern. Anyone can call for a hold at any time to pause the fiction of the game. Calling a hold might look like placing open hand or fist in the middle of the table, sending a message that says hold in your group chat or an online game, or just saying hold out loud. You should agree on a signal that works for everyone at your table. Use holds to ask clarifying questions, raise concerns, or check in before, during, or after potentially heavy moments. The charity thing is broken? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, I'm so sad.
It's got a 404.
The itch.io link.
No, the charity campaign. That's so
Oh.
fucking weird. Oh, I know why. Ugh, piece of shit. Fucking piss. Professional V. Okay. My name changed. Oh, that means the QR code doesn't work.
Oh no.
Everything works forever.
This is so sad. Anyway, so you can so either, any of us can call a hold. You can either call it out over Discord, or you can also like type it in a private message to me if you want. I will do my best to look at my private messages, but I do have stream mode enabled, so I don't hear them. So please understand if I don't like immediately stop. Just let me know. But does that work for everybody? Just saying hold
Yeah.
over Discord, or typing it if you're not feeling comfortable about that. Cool.
Sounds good.
Lines and veils. Anyone can call a hold at any time, but lines and veils mitigate the chances that we might need to call one. One moment. Did my bot work? No, it didn't. My bot's broken again.
Everything works forever.
I'm so sad. Nash, I'm going to assume that you just donated that $20 or $10, which thank you very much for doing that.
Thank you, Nash.
Thanks, Nash.
Why didn't it go through? Why don't I see it on the thing? Oh my god, and nothing fucking works.
The progress bar went up.
Did it? Okay, that's good.
It did. Yeah, it did.
Anyway, sorry. Thank you so much for the donation. I'm sorry nothing is working anymore. I don't know. I don't know anymore. When the scuff rains, it pours. So true.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so lines are subjects that we do not want to appear in the game at all, while veils are things that can appear in the game, but we all agree not to discuss in extensive detail. Are there anything that we do not want to go over? You can feel free to DM us separately if you don't want to say it out loud. But just let us know if there's anything that we need to expressly forbid or be careful about before we go in.
On my side, I don't think there's anything that y'all would bring up that would be inappropriate. Nothing I could think of.
Anything? I mean, kind of the obvious. Like, I don't want to see any war, genocide, kind of thing. That kind of thing.
Okay.
Child abuse, animal abuse, that kind of thing. Don't want that ever.
Okay.
I don't think y'all would bring that stuff up.
No, I wouldn't think so, but I just covering bases.
Yeah.
No worries. Setting the tone. Show this page to your fellow players and read. The first part of creating our city is establishing its tone, the color and texture of the setting we want to explore. As a table, let's decide on 3 adjectives that will set the mood of our city. We should pick at least one from the list below, but we don't have to limit ourselves to these options. So let's all pick a adjective each. Feel like that's fair. There is 3 of us. So anybody want to go first with an adjective?
Magnetic.
Magnetic. All right.
We don't have to.
Thank
Oh,
you.
it says we don't have to limit ourselves to these options, but these are just examples. Okay.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
examples.
You can think of another cool word if one comes to you.
You don't have anything, Fizz? Or do you want to... Like, did you have an objective you wanted to pick? Adjective?
I'm looking, thinking. Vivid.
Vivid? Okay. I'm going to say loud. Once you have settled on 3 adjectives, write them on a blank index card and place this card at the center of the table where everyone can see it. We use these words to start a brief conversation about our city. Let's come up with a big picture idea. Is it modern, riffing on a city that we're all familiar with? Is it set in the past, or in a strange speculative future? Do ghosts exist? Do robots? Do talking animals? How do I edit this again? Right-click on this note. Name controls the header. Field description.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody have any suggestions on, do you want a modern city? Do you want something in the past? Do you want to set this in some sort of future?
So, my idea.
Mm-hmm.
We live in the city is on a world where the magnetic poles are otherworldly, supernaturally strong, and
Okay.
all travel is based on the magnetic forces that lift cars up. So all like cars, trains, even some of the shoes we wear, we can just float using the opposing magnetic forces. And but the cost of it's very loud. So most people in the city wear ear protection, and because the magnetic poles are so strong, uh, it's not even an aurora borealis. It's an aurora everywhere. Every night there's an aurora in the skies. That's that's what makes it vivid.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it would be working with that. Maybe not the ear protection part, but I think that the city would have some sort of protection around it, like a bubble city. Um, like you can see through the barrier, but being that the city has such strong magnetic poles, maybe being that the planet has such strong magnetic poles, maybe there was some like naturally occurring situations or phenomenon where stuff would float on its own, just having enough of the like requisite metal within it. Um, so the cities are built like purpose built to be protected from those sorts of things just wandering through and crashing around.
Okay. Is the city using future technology then with the energy shield stuff? Is this
Yeah,
an older city? What are we doing?
I think it would be like a near future city, but on a planet where like because that sort of stuff is possible, it's like part of the mundane, so it's not like new technology. It's just what they've developed to deal with these things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once
Like
you've
near.
set the tone of the city, you're ready to move on to the next step. Where you really start exploring the city, you'll begin by adding just a few cards to the table to spark everyone's imagination. If one player is facilitating the game, they should lead. Um, Turn to the section on exploring a neighborhood and follow the instruction. Explain your thoughts to the table as you do. How is this particular neighborhood essential to this existence? What makes it different from other parts of the city? Walk through the process of creating a neighborhood's true name. Make sure that everyone has a grasp on it. Once you have created this neighborhood, introduce into your fellow players in broad strokes the idea of visiting a landmark, pointing out the close relationship between a landmark and the neighborhood watch in the neighborhood in which it's nested. When you are done, play moves clockwise. During the first pass around the table, every player should add either a neighborhood or a landmark to the city. So we'll go in order of the names as they appear on Discord. So I'll go first, then Chappie.
Okay.
So, exploring a neighborhood. Neighborhoods are the broadest, most overarching type of cards that you can play to build your city. To explore a new neighborhood, pick a blank index card and write an N in the top left corner. Give it the following 3 key elements: a title, a reputation, and a true name. Title. This is what denizens of the city call their neighborhood on a daily basis. It could be named after the local geography, the history of its residents, or the types of businesses that are conducted here, to name just a few examples. Right, this is at the top of the card. This is Magnetic Highway, so this is like a big transit area for a bunch of like supplies to come in and out of the city, like big industrial products that get moved through.
Mhm.
Reputation. In a couple of sentences, describe out loud this neighborhood's general vibe. How is it predominantly residential, commercial? How does residents think of themselves? What do other neighborhoods think? Invite other players to ask questions and build on the answer. Write a quick summary near the middle of the card right below the title. Keep the reputation brief. What you say out loud is more important than what you write down. Just a few words to jog your memory. So I'm just going to quickly say that it is a industrial center. Uh, how do residents think of themselves? Proudly blue collar. What do other neighborhoods think of them? Dirty. Invite players to ask questions and build on the answers. So do you have any questions about this magnetic highway, this kind of industrial center where everything gets kind of shipped off via the magnetic superfields?
What's the crime rate?
Right now, business is good, so crime rate is low. There's a lot. Most of the residents of this area are employed.
And going off of that, what would you say is the most lucrative export of the city's of the magnetic highway?
The magnetic highway, I would say, the most valuable export would be machines that can work in the strong magnetic fields.
Oh yeah.
And we would say I would think it's not dirty because it's neglected, but dirty because it's constantly busy.
Yeah.
Like a high trucking area often has like a bunch of like construction going on a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's like a cosmopolitan kind of demographic group. So people of all kinds of races, languages, cultural backgrounds live there.
Okay.
And are generally good to each other.
Alrighty. So that seems like a good place to going. So a true name. Every neighborhood has a magic all its own. To confer a true name, come up with 2 or 3 descriptive sensory images that paint a clear picture of the neighborhood in your mind. Write these at the bottom of the card. True names can be tactile details of the space, but they can just as easily be metaphorical or symbolic abstractions intended to elicit an idea of personality more than a literal representation. Think poetically and play to the senses when coming up with true names. Dizzying mirror glass windows, cobblestone boulevards, functional railway, sidewalk patios, burnt coffee. Painted Fingers, A Forever Sunset, Hushed Secrets, An Abandoned Dream. Any of these could be fast. Archie, thank you so much for the raid. You're here and you brought
Archie.
snacks. Wonderful. I hope you had a great
Hi,
time.
Archie.
Let's see what you're up to.
Hi, Raiders.
Hello, readers.
You were just chatting. That's right, you were doing poem readings, I believe. Hope those went well.
Oh, that's cool.
Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Soroka, the Magpie Treasure Hunting VTuber, and today we are playing more of the games inside of the Games for Gaza bundle to raise money for medical aid for Palestinians. We are currently playing I'm Sorry, Did You Say Street Magic, and we are today joined by physicist and Sheppy.
Hello.
Yo.
Winter Poetry was a lot of fun. How about your stream? It's been good. Been having to like read rules and like not 100% understand them, but it's been very fun to go through these games so far.
I have a good idea. I have a good idea for my neighborhood.
Okay. Sure. I'm gonna say hmm.
So you would come up with a couple ideas of like what the place looks like and like described in a way that really gives away the feel of the place.
Yeah. Okay. So true name, Constant Motion of. I don't know how well that
That's
fits
cool.
in, but we'll go with that. So, let me check. Wait, maybe everyone has a grasp. Once you've created this neighborhood, introduce to your fellow players in broad strokes the idea of visiting a landmark, pointing out the close relationship between a landmark and the neighborhood in which it is nested. When you are done, play move clockwise. Alright, landmark time. Landmarks are the second highest tier of cards you can play to build your city. They must be played within a pre-existing neighborhood card. A neighborhood can, and often will, contain multiple landmarks. To visit a new landmark, pick a blank index card, and put an L in the top left corner. Give it the following three key elements: a title, an address, and a true name. A title. Just like a neighborhood, each landmark should have a common name that people call it in their day-to-day lives, right at the top of the card. A motion incorporated tower. So this is the tower in which the headquarters of the place that builds those machines that work in the high magnetic fields is recited. An address.
Yes.
If it feels appropriate, this can be a little address. After all, street names have the tool to reveal details about the world, but could also be something more poetic. Is it in the heart of the neighborhood or off the beaten path, several stories up, or perhaps below street level? Write this landmark's address under the title just near the middle of the card.
Do you think the address might have like two separate numbers to start with because cities would be much more vertical with this kind of technology? So it'd be like width and height of the street.
Entirely
Ooh.
possible. A true name. Simple to a neighborhood. Each landmark has its own. However, this should be even more specific than the true name for your neighborhood. How does this landmark exist within the neighborhood if it is placed being placed inside? Does this landmark match the neighborhood style or push against it? What makes it unique? What makes it irreplaceable? What can you touch, smell, or taste? Imagine the landmark as you consider these questions. Let a true name reflect the answers.
Yeah, what do you think of MIT?
Corner rests on the top of its corresponding neighborhood card. Be sure not to cover up any of the important information on any cards and make sure that everyone can read the text. Good. Put it right there. The next player then begins their turn. Okay, Fizz, your turn. Hold on. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Yep. It is your turn to make a neighborhood.
Okay. So I think.
So you need a title first.
Right. Sorry, I'm looking at the rules. I'm just a little lost in the pool of letters.
Mhm.
I have a hard time reading such things. Title. The Hexagonal Gardens, I believe.
Ooh.
Okay. A reputation.
So vibe here is that it's very efficient. It's sectioned up into alternating hexagons of processing facilities and farms. So it's a bit like a checkerboard.
Interesting.
So it's because it's so cleanly planned. It's seemed as like a prosperous occupation to work in that neighborhood. Just given the idea that they're in a like a sort of domed city, it's harder to go do the farming outside of the city limits, and it's harder to take care of all the transportation.
Okay.
It's become more feasible to just try to be self-sufficient growing crops in town.
What do other neighborhoods think of them?
They don't normally like to drive by the area. It kind of smells. They work with fertilizer over there. It smells, depending on the season, it either smells extra fresh or extra potent.
Okay.
So some seasons they might treat it like a park, and other seasons they might do their best to avoid it.
Okay. Anything else?
Sorry, can you help me with the next step?
A true name.
Yeah, I'm reading over and I'm just having a really hard time focusing on it. True name.
You can focus on the smells. You can focus on the crops that they produce. You can focus on how organized it is.
Right. I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as mentally agile as I was hoping I would be. I'm sorry. I'm still thinking.
About that.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. I like that.
Wonderful.
I like it.
Now you need to come up with a landmark.
Landmark. Let's see. How about they have hmm, they have a very meticulous parking structure straight in the middle of it for all their combine harvesters and tractors and other such vehicles they would be using.
Okay.
But being that
What do they call it?
being that they're mostly floating vehicles, the structure resembles a beehive, so they just simply call it the beehive.
Okay. An address. So you said it's at the center, did you? I don't
Yeah,
remember, sorry.
yeah, it's central to all the farms. What do you call that kind of um, image where you zoom in on it? It's just a infinitely repeating pattern.
Mosaic.
Not a mosaic.
Practical.
Fractals. That's right. I should remember that. One of my friends uses fractal in his name. Um, it somewhat resembles a fractal due to the way they park everything in the structure and have them ordered by vehicle type.
Okay. Uh, Anything else about that?
That's all I got.
Okay. A true name.
Um, hmm,
What do you want to focus on? The organizational part of it? Do you want to focus on how many machines there are? Do you want to focus on what they do? Do you want to focus on the noise that they make? Or maybe they don't make noise?
yeah, I think in this case, what I would want, I would want the true name to be the Beehive, and the like official name to have been just like something really plain, just because they don't care for too much artistry over on the farm, even though the structure ends up looking artistic. Um, yeah, equipment repository one, perfect.
Wonderful. All right. Shep.
That's me.
Your turn. Go ahead and clone the neighborhood and landmark clone cards. Right
Clone.
click.
I do not have permission. It does not give me
Oh,
permission.
well, then can you
All right.
edit them?
I think I can edit them though. Yeah.
Let Sheppy be free,
All right. Edit.
I say while I'm standing outside the room because I don't have the app.
There, you get promoted. So now you should have access to everything.
I reside in the Polaris district.
Okay, you're gonna start writing that down, right? I don't have to. Yeah, okay, wonderful.
I live in the Polaris district. Uh, a neighborhood nestled in the mountains with lots of gated communities and affluent high upper class entertainment.
Okay,
Uh, high, high, I can't spell, class, affluent neighborhood. Affluent neighborhood, gated communities. Other neighbors see them as snooty and uh, vain.
okay, makes sense.
Crime rate is surprisingly medium to high due to how much uh, the wealth of the area.
Makes sense.
And okay, if I click off of that, will that do it? Okay,
Yep,
good.
it should.
Um, It is. Oh yeah, let me. It is nestled in the northern mountains. Well, northern hills. I wouldn't say mountains.
Okay.
Given its name, Polaris, which is the northern star, it should be nestled in those hills. Um, and what were the other questions?
So a title, a reputation, um, and a true name. So
Okay.
reputation has uh so the general vibe, is it predominantly residential or commercial? How do its residents think of themselves? What do other neighborhoods think of them? Oh, we haven't been I kind of forgot about the asking question part, but I feel like everything so far has been pretty fleshed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a reputation of being, like I said, being snooty. Ruling class, the ruling class lives there. Doctors, lawyers, people with money, they tend to set up shop there. Uh, ruling, ruling class, doctors, lawyers live here.
Can I give a potential suggestion?
Sure.
Um, do you think that they intentionally have the whole place like starting as like a high rise above the city, and then they built on top of that as sort of like symbolically they feel they're above the others?
So glad you said that because the whole city is built upon an arcology. If you're familiar with SimCity 3, an arcology is a giant tower city.
Excuse
Um,
me, they were in SimCity 2000.
oh, that's right. SimCity 2000.
Fake gamers spotted.
Actually, um, arcology. I'm gonna.
City planner fight, city planner fight.
So if I had to give it a look, see, I would say it looks like I'm looking through these images. I can actually give you an image of what it actually like looks like. Um, I hate these wikis because you can't copy images. They're so dumb. Here we go.
Oh
Shift
yeah,
click.
I have to screenshot capture a lot.
I posted it to the Discord, so that's what it looks like.
Okay.
It's but it's not powered by bolts or screws. It's just held together by the sheer magnetic force that is emitted by the planet.
Ooh,
So
neat.
Magnetic
it's
force, Jack.
uh
Nature's force.
uh
So, for
uh
those of you who are not in the Discord, it's basically a bunch of ringed sections stacked on top of each other, with one at the top with a glass view of like a.
yeah, and the glass is actually just a barrier, as we described before. It's a protective energy shield
Okay.
because the glass would be shattered in an instant. In these forces. And the true name, I would say, held together by faith,
All right.
by the faith of the people.
Okay. Go ahead and write that down, please.
Yeah, I have so many windows open.
Welcome back,
True
Lumi. I
name
hope your supper's good.
held together
Oh,
by
we are
faith.
building a city.
Okay,
Welcome back,
and
Lumi.
that's all I needed for that neighborhood.
Yep.
Okay,
Now you need a landmark inside of this neighborhood.
the Pharaoh Fluid Fountain.
Ooh.
It
All right.
is a fountain, massive fountain, but it doesn't have water. It has ferrofluid. For those that don't know, ferrofluid is a magnetically charged liquid that
Maybe.
is attracted to magnetic poles. It's a black viscous liquid, and yeah, instead of water, it shoots this gunk out of it. Um, so it and they programmed it so it could like dance. It could dance with the magnetic pole to create shapes like hearts, like the world, the earth. Um, think of anything. It'll make it can create shapes and objects.
So
Okay.
it would be like the Las Vegas sphere, except it's like the big tube in the center of the arcology.
Yes, ferrofluid fountain. Uh, Instead of water, it is it is ferrous liquid, black ferrous liquid. What other things? Um, it smells a bit like ammonia if you get too close.
Okay.
Let me. Smells a bit like ammonia. So don't want to get too close to it because your nose will not like it. Um,
2/3 of the city is stinky, confirmed.
Horus think that it's a it's a blight upon the magnificence of the arcology. It is an eyesore. Locals think highly of it.
Where is it located in the arcology?
The problem we're right damn in the center, right in the center of it.
Okay.
And its true name is simply hubris.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Uh,
Now that we have three neighborhoods, let's see. Once you what the city might look like after laying your foundations. Sure, it's overlapping. Naming the city. You might have noticed that the rules have not asked you to name the city yet. This is intentional. If, after you lay the foundations, you feel that you know the city well enough to name it, take a moment to agree on a name and write it on the central index card above the three edges. If you don't have a name for your city, don't worry. Let it arise organically during play. Don't try to force it, but be sure to name your city before the end of the game. Gotta head out. Thanks so much for hanging out, Cat, and doing mod actions and stuff. Hope you have a good rest of your night.
there we go.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Did anybody have any suggestions for a name?
Let's see.
I don't know yet.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah,
we'll just, if no one has any ideas, we'll just wait on it. You can always name it later.
yeah. I think I got to know more about the city first.
Okay. To begin, one player declares the compass, the theme or subject of exploration for this round of gameplay. This helps set the tone for the round. Declare the compass. After you've laid the foundation, read out the following. Cities are dense, packed with stories stacked atop each other. In order to give each round focus, one player chooses a compass to keep the story moving in the same thematic direction, at least until the next round. Anything can be a compass: a neighborhood, a landmark, a resident, an institution, a lineage, an object, a broad theme or concept, as big or small as you want. A compass can be an idea that already exists in play, or something you can make up right on the spot. For the first few compasses of the game, consider building off of ideas that your fellow players have already expressed excitement in, especially ideas not already explored during the Foundation. Keep a running list of each round's compasses and which player chose it, so that everyone can look back at it as your city as a whole. If a player wants to revisit a compass that was already examined, they can always pick the same one again, or pick a similar a compass that examines the aspect of that city from a slightly different angle. I'm gonna go ahead and declare a compass. Where the people of the neighborhood eat. Wandering the city. Starting with the player who declared the compass, every player takes a turn adding a new card to the city. During this part of a round, a player can do one of the following: explore a neighborhood. The broadest of the 3 categories of cards, neighborhoods bump up against each other, they contain all the other cards in the game. Visit a landmark or meet a resident. Resident is always associated with a landmark. Every card playing during the Wandering the City phase should have a clear thematic connection to the compass. If you're unsure whether your idea fits the interpretation of the compass, just ask. Okay. So we can just add any compass to anything. I'm gonna say I'm gonna add to magnetic highway. I'm gonna add a landmark. And I'm gonna say that this is the food market. And this is where the people of the district tend to congregate to eat when they're out on the job.
Nice.
So being that it is along the highway, do you think these would be like less cafes and more of the chains that do more of the bulk of the that benefit more from the bulk of the transportation in that area? Do you think it'd be like mom and pop shops or just places you could find anywhere?
I was thinking more of just kind of like a mix of like food trucks and like stalls, some built in, some like like buildings that are like in the area around the plaza.
Ooh, I really like the food truck idea. Just the idea that this is a really like being that it's so made for transportation, it's really easy for the food trucks to congregate.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, easy, accessible for basically everything. Um, any other questions about this landmark?
Hmm.
So is this mainly where people who work in transportation go to eat, or is this like an easy hub for everybody?
Easy hub for everybody in the district.
Gotcha.
Is it just for the magnetic highway or anyone? Good.
For anyone. I mean, if you want to come all the way over here for stuff, it's not limited to just residents, but like it'd be quite busy to have to come all the way over here instead of like
Right.
in a different neighborhood.
Right.
But I'm sure that uh like gourmands and other people who are adventurous would come out and seek the different offerings in the plaza.
Yeah, I might guess that the people who work around here typically come to eat there, and for everybody else, it would be like a destination if you're feeling like kind of outgoing,
Mhm.
just to like have all the variety to choose from.
Mhm.
I got nothing.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fair. Alrighty. Da, 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 da. So, Fizz, it is your turn to wander the city and play a new card
Gotcha.
that fits the theme of the compass, where people of the neighborhood eat.
Cool. Um, Let me think. I have an idea.
Okay.
So, um, um, are we still playing within the same neighborhood or going to another
You do
neighborhood?
not have to play within the same neighborhood at all. It just has to fit the theme.
Okay. Um, in the hexagonal gardens, I would
Okay.
imagine there is an especially popular plot where they try out small batches of uh, custom GMO plants made for different flavors.
This is a landmark then.
Um, I suppose it's a plot. It's technically a plot, just like all the others, but the people who work around there like to visit it to see if there's like
So it
anything new growing.
okay. So it is a landmark then. Okay.
Yeah, we can say it's a landmark. Um, but just the idea that like, hey, you can go over there. We've got a new variety of pepper that's like the interior is like a lot like an orange, and you can portion out into pieces, take it for a snack, or like we've got a coconut that doesn't have the outer rind to it, and it tastes more like strawberry than anything else.
Oh, that's
Okay.
interesting.
Do you have a name for it?
Um, well, being that they're like somewhat uh uh scientific eggheads over there, it would just be like experimental plot '07. So
Okay.
the very official kind of name belies the like excitement of going there and trying like never before seen foods.
Sure. Um, where is it located?
Just in the southeast. It wasn't planned to be like a special part of the farm. It's just like over time it's become popular. It's like exciting to try foods that haven't existed before.
Do they cook it there, or like do you just try the produce?
Oh, they try it fresh.
Okay.
Like people can like take it home and cook, but like they take pride in like what they make being like, good to eat fresh right away.
Okay. Um, anything else, Sheppy? Ask about this landmark?
Mm, sorry, I do not have anything.
That's all right. What's your name, Fizz?
Hmm. Um, sorry, can you help me with one? Do you have a good idea?
Um, do you want to focus on the experimental nature of the plants? Do you want to focus on the pride of making these new things? Do you want to focus on um, is there a particular part of this that you want to focus on?
I was thinking of something that sounds like like grandiose. Like I can't come up with like a catchy way to say it, but it's like the cradle of creation or something like that. Something that sounds much more booming than what it really is, you know?
I had a question. I did have a
Hmm.
question.
Okay.
Is the experiments here done in a clandestine manner? Like,
No, out in the open. It's like a pride of the operation.
okay, all right. So, like, it's not like an Area 51 of food.
Oh, nah. You can just walk in there and they got samples.
Okay. Sorry, Fizz. What were you? What was your your true name you were
Oh,
thinking
I
of?
was I was trying to come up with better vocabulary for it, but like something as grandiose as like creation or something like that. But it would be the true name, so it wouldn't be so verbose, you know.
I mean, it can be. No rules about that.
Yeah, we can go with that. We can go with that then. Cradle of creation. People just say they like go to eat at the cradle, and everybody knows what you're talking about.
Okay. Sheppy, your turn.
I want to meet a resident
Okay. Which landmark is this resident attached to?
at the cradle.
Okay.
And this um, this man is a very he's an eccentric. He's actually the sous chef
Mm.
of the cradle. He's an extremely eccentric dude, a brilliant dude, former scientist turned chef
Okay.
because of his passion.
The resident needs a title, which is the common name. The resident's title inform their personality and vice versa. Write their title at the top of the cards. Write their pronouns next to that. Describe this resident briefly to the table. If they have a noteworthy profession or other important qualities, feel free to write that information down, but don't spend too much time writing. Just use it for what you say aloud is more important than what you write. And then you also need a true name. Unlike neighborhoods and landmarks, however, a resident's true name is established through collaboration during a vignette, a short scene in which all players participate.
Oh,
All right, so we'll do that part last. So go ahead and talk more about this resident
yeah.
and write it down, please.
Okay, let me get my that this is up. Where is the car?
Top left of the board.
On top. Okay, resident. So I don't give him a name yet.
You give him the title.
A title. Okay. Title. The Cradle's Sue's chef.
Fools.
Can't believe you would just overwrite my clone of the. Don't worry about it. Take
Yeah.
this. Take it. Take it.
Did I do something wrong?
Yes.
What'd I do?
You
I'm sorry.
overwrote my blank template cards.
I, I, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. You got that one right on it.
Okay.
I gasp in surprise. The audacity.
I seriously thought I did something wrong.
A sous chef, a former scientist
Yeah,
at the cradle.
he's a former scientist. Very eccentric. And brilliant. Turned chef. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Oh, you also have to write their pronouns down.
Okay.
Just beside their title.
There we go.
Wonderful. Okay, so describe that an eccentric former scientist turned chef or eccentric and brilliant. Anything else you wanna say about them?
They are altruistic.
Okay.
Used to work at a research firm in the Polaris districts. A pharmaceutical pharmaceutical. I don't know how to spell that.
Just spell it based on vibes.
Pharmaceutical research firm in the Polaris district, and was not given free rein on creative endeavors. And would rather use his genius to feed the hungry.
Okay.
There you go.
So, true name. So, true name is established during a vignette. Framing a vignette. A vignette is a brief glimpse into a resident's daily life. To begin a vignette, the current player decides where the scene takes place. This location should be connected in some way to the landmark where the resident is nested. When in doubt, setting the vignette at the landmark itself is always a safe bet. So, where do you want to set it?
Mm,
In some way that relates to the landmark.
do you have any suggestions? Could use some help.
Um, could just be at the at the at the at the landmark itself,
Okay.
talking about their latest creation.
All right.
So the current player embodies the residents. Other players play various aspects of the setting: weather, music, local flora and fauna, sights, smells, taste, the passage of time, or other characters in the scene. The player embodying the resident may make broad scene requests of their co-players. For example, could someone play one of my family members? Or let's frame this as a montage of my regular customers. Or I'd like this to be a solo scene. Please only be abstract elements of the space. The current player begins by describing the resident's interior thoughts and actions. Other players respond, freeform, engaging in loose and improvised conversation. Describe sensory details, as well as the resident's desires, beliefs, and appearance. Feel free to speak both in and out of character, narrate the character's actions, or say things that they would say in their own voice. A vignette should portray the resident in their element. This is a snapshot of a moment when the character is truly, unequivocally themselves. Spotlight their strengths, skills, and shortcomings. What unique spark does this resident bring to the city that nobody else can offer? The scene is over when the current player knows the resident's true name in its entirety. Write the facets of their true name on the card and place the card so that it rests partially on top of the corresponding landmark card. The next player then begins their turn.
So during the scene, we would be gradually getting clues as to what the person is known as to everyone else,
The
even
person that
though,
they're known as to everyone else is the Cradle sous chef. The true name isn't the name that they're known by everybody else. It's that they're like it embodies their their personality and the aspects of their character.
yeah, that's what I meant. So I mean, like, not their official name, but who they are to everyone, right?
Yes. Yep.
So I take that as we learned enough about them to be confident of who they are as their place in society
Hmm.
reflected in everyone else. Yeah.
Yep. And basically we just keep going until Sheppy thinks that they know what what the true name is. So do you have any ideas for how you'd like to set this vignette up, Sheppy?
Sure. The sous chef is experimenting with combining an orange, a lime, and a lemon to
Okay.
create a brand new fruit that has a distinct sour taste that a human tongue has never experienced before. And he wants to put it in some innocuous dishes, like a shrimp dish with with this unnamed fruit instead of just a lemon spritz on it, or like I don't know, a fruit bowl with that fruit just hidden inside of it, just to see what the patrons' reactions to its taste would be. He's very excited to see everyone's reactions.
Okay.
So a lime, a lemon, and an orange chimera fruit.
Sure. And what parts of the scene would you like us to be?
um, patrons. Uh, how about how about Fizzy? You be a patron. Sroka, you can be someone assisting me with the dishes.
Okay.
All right. So let's say I'm walking by the store or whatever your setup is over here. Is it a store? Do you have a
I,
restaurant set up?
I think it's it's a restaurant. It's a restaurant. There is a restaurant in the Cradle that he works at. which where
Okay.
everyone goes. Yep.
I'm walking into the store and I'm looking at the menu. I'm thinking I'm hungry, but I'm not hungry for anything that I usually have, right? So I see something new on the menu. I think it's the fruit that you're trying to market. And I asked a couple questions. Asked what's with the colors on it? Why has it got so many?
It's uh, it's some you know with the Credo we are an epicenter of culinary creativity. It's something that I invented, and I haven't tasted it myself. It is something I made. It is a combination of many fruits, and we have a fruit bowl that's available if you're tons undecided of what you want to eat today. We also have like I said, fruit salads, mm, fruit bowls, um, lemon dishes with well. Usually we put lemon on shrimp, but this time we'd be using this fruit as the spritz instead of just a lemon spritz. What interests you?
I think I think I'd be interested in seeing what kind of uh, mixed drink and a alcoholic beverage
Oh,
we could come up with for this.
if you have to forgive me, I'm not too versed on alcoholic drinks or mixed drinks. I guess um, I'll come to you, Soroka, and say, is there something you can make with this experimental fruit?
Well, having not tasted it before, I'm not 100% sure, but I imagine we could use this to replace any other citrus fruit. Perhaps making a mojito with it would might work.
Cool. Yeah. So we can order you a yeah. Let's order this. Are you playing a woman, man? What do you?
I'm a man, I guess.
Yeah, let's order this fine gentleman a mojito.
Okay.
What?
Sure thing. Let me go ahead and get everything here together. Cutting this fruit is kind of weird because I'm not really sure whether to treat it as like a lemon or a lime or like orange, whether it should be peeled and stuff. Um, it's definitely unique, but I'm not 100% sure how to handle it. But other than that, I think I'll just substitute the lime juice with this new drink, and hopefully it tastes good. It's all ready for you here.
Uh, so I'm imagining like you've served it to me at this point, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Smells great. I mean, it smells like everything it's made of, but I haven't been told exactly what it is yet. So I'm just racking my brain trying to figure out which is the principal part of it. But it's not too important. I take a sip, and it is the most sour thing I've ever tasted
No!
in my life.
Oh
I
no!
my lips are pursed around my straw so strongly, and like my instant reaction uh ends up making me slurp up more of it than I ever intended to.
Oops.
And from the outside it might just seem that like I'm zealously enjoying it and trying to have a lot of it, but I'm actually having like a shock reaction.
It looks like you enjoy it. It looks like great.
And I just look at you with my eyes like non-verbally pleading for help. I can't move the rest of my face yet.
We'll chalk this off as a success. Wonderful.
Just mentally screaming while you high five each other.
I I would say true name failure is the best teacher.
All right.
Let me write that down.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. So I think we'll go ahead and do one thing of this event. Um, um, uh, this, ugh. This, I thought the event would be quick, but it looks like it's quite an involved thing. But I think otherwise, we've done about an hour of this.
Mhm.
We've done some setup. How are you two thinking? What do you think of this game?
I think this I think this is more of a tool rather than a game. I think like you could definitely create a living breathing world that you could use for like D&D or like D20 Modern or like anything, Shadowrun or anything like with this kind of
I
system.
think I think I think this is a game much like the journaling, like some of the other journaling games, where it's meant to be less of like a game with which to be accomplished and more of just like a collaborative storytelling
Yeah.
um
Yeah,
thing.
I think I think it's a story where you're supposed to be invested in the world more so than invested in what any specific person or group of persons is doing, because you can swap to so many other people at any given time.
Yeah, you're just kind of taking on the whole city. Um, and then it looks like you like after you've done a compass round, you do an event that should be related to the compass, and then basically everybody gets a chance to react by being like a voice of the city, um, and like it's to help define this event and resolving it and like how it alters the city itself.
Yeah,
So
then
basically, it's just
it's
a
it,
big collaborative storytelling.
Yeah.
yeah, then you get to like remember and look forward to like making callbacks or like having the stories knot together in interesting ways.
hmm
I feel like if you went long enough, you wouldn't have enough room for for all the neighborhoods and this
Yeah,
landmarks.
like definitely, I could
Mhm.
see it's starting to really run out of space, and this is the biggest default table in the game. Actually, that's a lie. I don't know if there's like if the custom rectangle can be bigger, but it definitely it takes up a lot of space, and I imagine even physically, like these index cards would start to get really, your table would start to get crowded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think it's really cool. I think we came up with a really interesting idea for a city, kind of on the go,
Yeah.
and certainly it seemed like a really neat way to just kind of like help flesh out a city. Either you can be very broad and define a whole neighborhood, or
Mhm.
like a facet of the neighborhood, or even a person. And the vignettes are cute as a way to like not only help define this person, but also like bring the whole table in to help define it, which is nice.
yeah, I like that.
Um, but yeah, any final thoughts in this game before we head out?
I think it would be really cool if like any group of people were to make this an ongoing thing, that like after the game's over for the day and you like set it aside, maybe people are playing it physically, they'd have like a special table in the room that's specifically set up for this. They would go home and they would think of like the possibilities for next time and bring them all together and like just continue with the collaborative story.
Yeah,
Right.
I could definitely see like if this was like a physical thing, like obviously in tabletop sim I could just save this. Um,
Mhm.
Right.
but like if a physical thing, like you could take a picture of the table and then like put everything away and then bring it back out when you're when you come back to it. And you could certainly, yeah, like it seems like it's intended for like a single session thing, but like it does say like it does give rule tips on making a multi session thing.
Right.
Um, so uh yeah, like certainly I think if you had the time to do like the whole thing, you could certainly make some really interesting worlds.
Yeah.
Um,
And then you can like, take them to other games if you really wanted to.
yeah, you could certainly like if you're really liking this world setting, definitely keep it in mind and reuse it
Yeah.
because like if you read a bunch of like things on like world building or whatever, it's like, oh well, this world was defined by the author's like tabletop sessions that they did as a teenager or something. Um, like certainly, if you're feeling inspired by this, like take that inspiration and keep working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like that.
Mhm. But I think it's a really neat game. I think definitely this is definitely one that would be nice to have like a whole time to get over it, but also like to do it. But also that is a pretty significant amount of a chunk of time because I think like the whole game would take about 4 hours to do.
Yeah, for real.
So definitely making sure that you take breaks and everything. But uh, a very cool game. I think definitely something unique and not something that otherwise I think I would get a chance to play. So thank you two for joining me for this game and for our previous game. Um, did you two have any closing remarks before we head out?
Just thanks for having us. It's
Yeah,
always fun,
thank
and
you so
I
much for having.
yeah, I appreciate you taking the leading role in all of this, so that while I'm reeling from having to read a paragraph, you can hold my hand.
That's all right. And yeah, thank you two for joining for this one. Definitely, I plan to do this at least once a month, hopefully twice a month. Who knows? We'll see how I'm feeling. But basically, we'll just keep kind of working our way through this, keep raising money, and hopefully having a good time doing it. So thank you two so much. Don't forget. So where can they find you, Sheppy?
On Twitter at SheppySheps_VT. Also on Twitter at Sheppy Twitch.
Mhm. And I use the same name and the same spelling on Twitter and Blue Sky, and I got a Discord going where I also post stuff more often. So if anybody like to see more of that, I'm here, Twitch, Discord. Sometimes I'm on VStream, not usually though. It's been a while. So anyway, that's all the places you can find me.
There's one more place you can find Fizz. I know you've been having some financial difficulties lately, and people can find you over on Ko-Fi
Oh yeah.
to send you a donation, and they get a cool little emote in return.
You know,
Yeah.
speaking, that crazy physicist guy, he made me this emote. Look how cool that is.
It's a cool emote. You could get a cool emote just like that by donating some money to
Yeah.
Physicist.
That was a fun one to make. Sparks has a cool design, and I get to play with the perspective a little bit by them being an orb.
Yeah.
But yeah, emotes are $10 if anybody's interested. I'm
Yes.
uh, I'm home, so I got all the time to do it. Turnaround's pretty quick.
Yeah, so you hear that? You can get it right away. So let's go ahead and see who we can raid. I will quickly point out um, this is what we've been doing. We are raising money for medical aid for Palestinians by playing all 256 games for Gaza. We're still working our way through it. I think this is might actually be our 69th game. Nice. Um,
Yay!
Nice.
uh,
I'm honored.
so the don't pay attention to the campaign ending. Like we didn't get through all the games, so we're gonna keep going until we do, or until I drop dead. Uh, so we'll see what happens. But let's go ahead and pass you over to somebody for to see the raid.
And thanks
Let's
for the
see.
hat, by the way. It's very nice.
You're very welcome.
It smells only just a little bit like Windex.
It goes with your muffler and your holsters to give you a kind of a bandit look.
Let's go ahead and send you over to Bradfield, who's playing some Final Fantasy 1.
Oh,
So thank you all
nice.
so much for tuning in. And I will be back here uh next week on Thursday to resume our regular schedule. So thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much to Lumi, Aralea, and Archie for the raids tonight. And let's go ahead and give Bradderfield some love. So thank you so much. Thank you so much to Fizz and Sheppy for joining me tonight.
Yeah.
Really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thanks for having
And
us.
let's get going.
Bye.
Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.
Take care.